Okay, so let me quickly introduce myself. So I am Srashti Jain. I'm based out in India and I'm a Google developer expert for Angular. And also I had my company named TechVraksh. So yeah, so I'm working in that and I'm also a software consultant. So yeah, that's all about myself. And so in this particular session, what we will be doing is we will be learning about what's Angular, right? And how we can start with it. Basics of the Angular, everything basics, right? So before we start, I just want to know how many of you know a bit of JavaScript or HTML, CSS. How many of you are good in that, or like if is it okay if I skip that part? Okay, I can see few hands. So is everyone over here is beginner other than those who raised hand? Yeah. So do you know a bit about programming languages and all? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So basically, programming. Maybe you might have worked on C or C plus plus or some sort of languages before, right? Okay. So let's quickly start. I'll try to explain a bit whatever I can like about JavaScript or HTML. HTML you guys might have seen before, like anything you are running on your browser, any website if you are opening, that thing is written on HTML, right? So maybe I can share a articles or a course about HTML or anything to start with after this session. So whenever you will go and start, if you are not comfortable with HTML, then you guys can go and start with those things, and then again you can go and see these slides, and then you can learn more about Angular if you miss anything, right? Okay, so let's start. So first, what we will be we'll see this will be the content, right? So first thing is why do we need any sort of front end framework? So whenever we are working on front end, why we will require that? Because HTML, CSS, all those things are really available, right? So why we will need those things? So we will discuss about that. We will quickly go and learn about what is Angular and what is TypeScript over here. Then we will talk about how you can go and install Angular in your system. What are the basic requirements over there? Then we will talk about architecture of the Angular application. So we will create an Angular application from scratch. So there are few commands that those we will have to use. So we will create it from scratch, and then we will see like what are those folders and how we can go and like change the things if we want to change something, right? So we'll see some those things. Then we will see some basic components of Angular. What are the services? What are those things? We'll see those, right? Then there are a lot of things like running APIs. So all those things we will see. We will see if we'll have time. Then we will go and try to see how we can handle APIs over there, right? And there is one thing, like a lot of people creates website or any sort of project, but they sometimes they don't know how they can push those things into production or a live environment while we create a project, right? So I'll give you some sort of overview on that how you can do those particular things if you want to deploy your website, right? Okay, that's all. So there is one question. Why do we need Angular? Angular or any sort of front end framework or library. Let's say you might have heard about Vue or a React, right? So why do we need those things? Why there are a lot of frameworks around for front end? This is question should be there in your mind, because we have started learning something about front end. So thing is, there are a lot of things going around, and if we stick to HTML only, let's say if I want to create my website and I want to have a lot of pages over there, lot of functionality in my website, and if I'll go and create everything from scratch in HTML, right, or something like those things, then it would be difficult for me to let's say if you are writing a program in C, right? So if they ask you to create a calculator, then you'll have to create everything like addition function for function for those like subtraction, division, multiplication, right? Everything you have to do it yourself. Then you have to go and merge those things over there. Same thing happen over here, that if someone want to let's say connect their website with JavaScript, or they want to use test cases, they want to create their website more secure. So what they'll have to do, they will have to go and add those functionality by themselves. So what Angular is doing over here, or any sort of framework, how they are helping us over here is they are giving us lot of things. Let's say CLI. Angular is giving us CLI. CLI is command line interface. So if I want to create component, if I want to create services, if I want to create any application, right, Angular application, I'll just give some command and it will create that application for me. So yeah, like this is sort of a genie for us. So because if we'll go and create, we'll have to create a website for Angular, right? Angular application. Then if we are doing it by hand, then we'll have to create a lot of file while setting up. So CLI will do it for us. Likewise, there is a material. If you guys might have heard about this Google material thing, like it is for CSS. So Angular material is there, and we can use those Angular material modules in our application. And there are a lot of pre-built things which we can use in our application. Let's say if I want to create a dashboard, so I can pull that dashboard from material and create over here in my application. I don't have to create it from scratch. And then obviously we can customize it as per our needs. Then protect, there are a lot of things, PWA, forms. So we will learn about those things when we'll go forward. But right now, like, think that this Angular, it is a framework, and inside that there are a lot of modules, or we can say lot of libraries connected, which are pre-built over there in an Angular core module. So we don't have to worry about a lot of security and those, how, let's say if we created application, we don't want any intruder to interrupt, right? We have to take care. So if you are doing it from scratch, then it is really, hard to do from scratch. But Angular or frameworks provides us that flexibility to don't worry about the backend things. They are taking care of those things, but we just have to work on our functionality. That's all. Yeah, sure. Let's feel free to ask any question. In between also, if you feel like if I missed anything, or if there is anything you want more clarification, we can discuss like right away. So you don't have to wait until end. Okay. Yeah. So there are few terminologies, which is, you might have heard, maybe you will hear that if you'll go into the market, or maybe somewhere on Google, if you'll search about Angular, there is one term called Angular JS. So basically, what happened previously when Angular JS they come up with this framework Angular JS, and then they updated that framework, right? So it comes up with name Angular. So they remove this JS from that. So if someone is saying Angular JS, that means they want you to work on, or they wrote an article on the previous version of Angular that is a bit different. And then now there is, I guess, Angular 14 right now. So all the versions which are above Angular 2, the version 2, those are known as Angular, right? And Angular releases their version twice a year. So let's say I guess Angular 15 is on the way, like next month sometime. So they are updating it. It is an open source framework, right? So you can go into its GitHub repo and you can see a lot of open issues, and then they solve those issues and then they release those updated things in next version. So yeah, that's happening over there. So basically, just the thing is, if someone is saying Angular JS, it is a previous version, and if someone is saying Angular, it is a current version. Current means anything above 2, like Angular 2, right? Angular 2 is total rebase of Angular 1. It is not similar. Yeah, there are few functionality you can understand the same at both places, but it is total rewrite of that. So uh, if someone is saying Angular JS, it is a different thing. Right now we are learning about Angular. Okay. So basically, Angular is a front end or client side framework. You might have heard about Java or C Sharp, right? Those are also a framework. Framework means they come up with a lot of libraries for security feature, for login feature, for all those things. There are a lot of libraries. What we can do is we can pull those in into the framework and we can use it directly. Same thing right now on, if you want to use secure your front end also, what you can do is you can use these front end or client side framework, right? So it is a framework means a bundle of lot of libraries available to use, and you just have to worry about the functionality you want to do. It is also created by Google, right? And they are also maintaining it, so maybe it is open and you can anytime go and check their GitHub repo, and you can also contribute if you want to anytime. It is entirely written in TypeScript. So basically, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. Okay. So superset, if you guys heard about JavaScript, I'm not really sure if anyone has, but let's say if I'll give you one example, you might have seen a lot of lot of let's say if you are entering your email and there's some issue there, it will show you that red message over there below your text box that this format is incorrect or this is not available, something like that you might have seen, right? So those things are handled over there on front end through JavaScript. Or this is one example, there are a lot of things, lot of animations we can you do using JavaScript. If you have seen many animation thing, they use that CSS and JavaScript together and do those through that on any sort of websites, right? So yeah, JavaScript is that, and TypeScript is superset. So basically, what was happen? So in C or C++, when you create a variable, right, you have to let your compiler know that this will be integer. This will be something. Let's say a number or a array, right? But in JavaScript, when it is there, JavaScript doesn't need any sort of confirmation before. So what they do is, in JavaScript, you'll just write where. Let me show you how. In JavaScript, you'll write where, let's say count equal to, if you will say a, it will say it is a string. If you will say 1, it will say it is number. So you don't have to worry those things. So what was happen, that previously when you are using JavaScript, sometimes you get those runtime errors. So to avoid that, this TypeScript is came into the frame. So we'll discuss about that in next slides also. Let's go forward. So it is used to create a single page application. What is single page? Single page means, you might have seen your, maybe you guys have created a lot of websites for like your assignment and all, right? So what we do is, we create a website and then we copy the header and footer and all those things, and then we use it in every page. We copy that in every single page, right? But over there in single page application, what happen, are the our page which is constant, it doesn't render every time. You don't have to copy paste those all those things on every page. It will be there in separate page. It will be there in on separate page, and your the content which needs to be updated, it will update eventually, right? I'll show you how normal website works, and then I'll show you how that our a single page application works. So basically, we requested for abc.com, let's say. So what they did is they gave us a home page of ABC in response, right? So this is our system. The this is our system, and this one is a server, and we requested for this website and they gave us homepage. That's correct. That should be done. Now we requested for page A, right? Now what they responded? They responded with page A. That's what happened in normal websites. When we created a, let's say we'll create a website for our like for our own. If we'll have home, we will have about. So same thing will happen. If we'll click on about, it will give us a whole page, about page. How single page application works? So over here we have this client and the server. We requested for abc.com. It will give us complete application packages. There will be bundle for that, and it will give us all those things. And then what we'll do is, what we'll request for data. Now we have all those things in our hand, like in our machine. So whenever it will require, it will ask it that I'll need this particular about page, right? So it will say I have that. I don't have to load it from the server. So this happen on while we are using single page application. Whenever we require any new data, let's say I change it and now I want to see some sort of grid. So it will request for a grid data, but the grid, all the packages over will be over there in your machine, and it will just send you the response for data, not all other or whole page. It won't send you whole page, right? This is what happen in single page application. Okay, let's quickly talk about TypeScript. So TypeScript, yeah, is a superset of JavaScript. Over here in diagram we can understand anything in JavaScript which is available right now, or anything will be coming. TypeScript will be covering all those things. Okay, we will see the example how it does. It is right now created by Microsoft, and they are also maintaining it, updating it, right? And it helps us for static typing. So yeah, same thing. Static typing means, as I told you, this. So this is where count. This is correct in JavaScript, but if you use it in TypeScript, so you'll have to use, let's say, let count, and then we will have to give a its type. So over here we'll say number, and then we'll assign it. So in future, if we'll update it, number is equal to a, oh, sorry, count equal to a, then it will give us error that it is a string. It is a type of integer, but we are assigning a string. In here, this one was example of JavaScript, and this other one was TypeScript. Okay, so this is something which is static typing is something is that, right? Also, JavaScript doesn't follow the concept of OOPS. It is object oriented programming, but TypeScript does. So you can use a lot of classes, interfaces, and all those things over here, which helps us a lot while writing. Like if you're writing a code, eventually you can do it in JavaScript also, but if you are doing it in TypeScript, it is more readable. Like in future, if your some of your colleague come up, some of new member come up, it is really easy to understand when it is written with static typing and those oops concept and all, right? So yeah, other than that, yeah, it is more similar to TypeScript, is more similar to C Sharp or Java, like to understand the concept. So anyone which who knows the concept a bit, like classes, interfaces, anims and all, then they can you go and use that really easily. So switching from backend to front end is really easy when you are using TypeScript on front end. Yeah, this is the example. So yeah, that's what I like right now showed you, that if you want to write this in JavaScript, then you'll just don't write where event name is getting started with Angular, and over here you'll have to write string. This string is something which is assigning the type, right? And also we can create a class for over here in TypeScript, but in JavaScript you can't do that. You can just directly create a object. It don't worry about, maybe in runtime if you want to add some more object or more entities over there, you can do it in TypeScript, in JavaScript, but in TypeScript you have to do it on at the compile time before that, right? So these classes we can create. It is the same thing we used to do in C or C++, or right. I guess the syntax may be a different, but these are the same thing which we used to do. And in JavaScript, you don't have to do. It is not required. So they don't have any sort of this, the format or something. Okay, let's discuss about. So we have time. Huh? So let's discuss about how you can install your, like, set up your Angular application. So first, before we go forward, we will need a Node.js in our system. So why we will need it? Because we want to use this npm. It is a sort of package manager. Package manager is, let's say I want to uh, package, there are a lot of, it is a sort of a library, है ना? And library, what we will do is there are a lot of books, if we'll replace it with packages. So packages are over there in a package manager, and whenever we will require, we will just using the CLI, like the command line, we will ask it and it will download that particular package, right? So let's say in my system, if I want to, let's say I want to implement even odd program, right? So I'll have to write it again and again. It is a simple logic I can do, but I don't want to do it. So what I'll do is I'll download a package and will use that particular package over there, and it would be easier for me whenever there will be any changes in particular logic, it will be updated from their end, so I don't have to worry about it. So this Node.js, it provides us runtime to run our JavaScript application on Chrome engine, right? So what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to this nodejs.org and just download the version. In downloads you can go and you can check this LTS. I'll prefer go for LTS, right? And then you can download any this MSI or something, like it is depend on which system you have, you can download the version from here and you can install it directly. So as you install over there, so in Windows, I'm using Windows, so I'll download it. It will give me some exe file. I'll just have to follow the instruction and it will install that thing for me, right? Other than that, I'll have to install this TypeScript. So I'll go to the website, TypeScript website, and I'll have to enter these command. So what I'll do is after I have installed Node.js, what I'll do is I'll open command prompt, and what I'll do is I'll enter this particular command. I'll say npm install hyphen g means I want to install it globally on my system, and then I'll say TypeScript. So it will install TypeScript on my system, right? And right now in on mine, it is already available. So we can use this TypeScript on our, like it is necessary to install it over there if you are using Angular, because yeah, it is written on TypeScript, so it will need it to run it, right? So it to so what it does is our browser, like this is our browser, right? This browser doesn't know TypeScript. Now my program doesn't know JavaScript because I'm writing it in TypeScript. It doesn't know JavaScript, and my browser doesn't know TypeScript. So what we do is there is one process which is called transpilation. Transpile. Okay. So what it does is it, when we compile our code, what our compiler, TypeScript compiler, change our code to JavaScript internally. When it will create a bundle, it will convert it to JavaScript. So we don't have to worry about those things. Our browser will be able to run JavaScript, right? So what it will do, it will read those things and run it over here on a browser. So just remember this term, that this thing is called transpilation or transpile. The process transpile will transpile our TypeScript code to JavaScript code so that our browser will remember those things, will be able to run those things on browser. Otherwise our browser doesn't know what is TypeScript, right? So there now there is install Angular CLI. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to write this npm on this only, on our command prompt only, we'll go and we'll say npm install -g, and we'll say angular cli. Sorry. So what it will do is it will install angular cli in our system. So if I'll say ng -v, so if this is installed in your system, ng, I don't remember command, ng, let's say. So it gave us. So right now, if I only write this ng command over here, right? It is giving me nothing. So there is, because ng, this Angular CLI is installed on mine. That's why I'm able to use this ng command over here. Otherwise, in your system, it will give you some sort of error that it is not available. So if I'll go and check on my system right now, I'll say ng version. It should give, yeah. So it gave me what version right now installed on my system. So it is saying CLI is 14.2.1 and the node version and the OS and all those things. It will update me like these sort of version you are using right now. So you can go and check for ng, and ng version will give you version of your Angular CLI which you are using right now. Right, so whenever you will create application, it will go and create the application with that particular version only. So you might have to update in future also. Let's say when Angular 15 is there and I want to create a new website with new application with new version, then I'll have to update my CLI and all those stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's what I showed you. Yeah, so usually I'm right now using Visual Studio Code. It is a freely available code editor and it is really nice to have. So I will suggest you to go with this. If you are using something else, then that's fine. But if you are right now using, you know, Notepad or something like that for coding and all those stuff, I'll suggest you to go with this VS Code, right? So you'll just go to the over here in Google, write VS Code, and it will give you that particular website. You can go and download the stuff according to your needs, and then you can install it. And here you can see a really nicely prepared this code editor. I'll suggest you, if you are using something notepad or some lower notepad plus plus, then switch to, it's time to switch, right? Okay, so these are few basic things which we might need while coding. Okay, so what I'll do right now is I'll quickly create an Angular application and I'll show you commands how we can create that, right? So what I'll do over here, I am there in this folder. I'll open a terminal for this, right? And I'll say, right, CLI is installed on my system. I already showed you. I'll say node -v. I guess it will give me. So I have already installed node. So node is there, and ng version. What happened? I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. So I'll do NB version and it will give me, that was some issue due to I was running it on PowerShell. That's why it was giving that particular error. So we can skip that for now. So I changed it to command prompt and now it is giving me those things. Now what I want to do is I want to create an Angular application, right? This is our folder. In this folder we are in. Now I want to create an application. What I'll do is I'll write ng new an application name. So my new app. Okay, is that fine with the name? Do you want some other name? Cool. So let's enter. I did enter. So it will ask me few questions. So it is saying, do you want Angular routing? Routing is required when we want to switch pages, right? So yeah, there will be multiple pages. So I'll say, yeah, I need Angular routing. Now it is asking me which format of CSS you like for style sheet you need. So I'll go with CSS right now. You can go with any other those things. If you are like okay with it, you can go with it. Otherwise, CSS is same. So right now, what it has done is it has created this folder, the name which I gave over there, and there is all those file which it is showing over here, right? And we can see those files, right? Now what we can see over here, it is saying it is installing the packages. So while it is installing, let's go through the application. I'll open this particular application on Visual Studio Code. So if Visual Studio Code is like available on your system, there will be something called this open with code available. So we can open by that, or maybe you can go directly and over from here in Visual Studio, you can say file and then say open folder and then choose the folder. So you can choose the folder and it will open that particular folder for you. Okay. Yeah. So right now for me it is open and I think I think it is visible. Let me. It must be visible now. So there are these sort of files available when we created a single application through CLI. Okay, let's quickly run the application. So what I'll do is I'll go over here. I want to open one terminal. I will go and open terminal. So over here, I went over here in the terminal and I'll set new terminal. Okay, or you can go and use shortcuts also. Right now we are using this. So I'll say ng server. If you run this command, enter, Angular CLI will build the application bundles and run it on our local server. Let's see how it works. See, what it has done is it has created these particular chunks which we might not understand right now, and there is this link. It is saying it is running on localhost 4200. So I'll go on browser. I'll say localhost 4200 and my new app is running over here. So this is particular template which Angular has. So it is over there, right? What we'll do is we will try to make some changes over there on their template. before that, what we'll do is we'll try to understand these folders. What are every file is there for? Okay, so these two are like that we run the application, right? So it has some sort of cache over there for that. Other than that, it has something related to VS Code, so that we don't have to worry right now. This node modules package, whenever you will create any front end, right, for any front end application, you might see this particular bundle, this particular folder, and it is really huge. So there is lot of files, lot of things which are available, like which we called, which we downloaded from npm, and we will be using it somehow while using our application. So you can see this angulars, everything is available over here. So from these node packages, it is our angular application is running, right? Inside src, there is a lot, our whole application is available over there. We will come back to this particular folder after some time. We'll go to the main thing right now, which is package json. What is package json? Package json is a json file where we write all the things, like let's say I want, there is some script. So when I'll say ng, it is writing ng. When I say start, it is saying ng serve, right? When I want to start, then it will say ng serve. If I'll write ng serve, it will start my application. If I'll say ng build, it will build my application. Something like those things happen, right? It has all the dependency, angular dependency available. So angular have compiler, angular core, angular forms, all those things are available. These things shows us which version is currently over there, right? So yeah. Other than that, dev dependencies are there. So at the time of development, I will need this karma, and those things are available for unit testing. Right now we can skip that. But this TypeScript, yes, this TypeScript will be required in my application. So it is available for dev dependency. Any new dependency, if we want to add, we can add it over here in our dependency thing. If it is, it will be required while we are running our application, right? We can add comma, and we can write XYZ and the version of that particular application. Okay. And then if you'll do npm install, then it will install if that particular thing is available on the server, right, and node server. So yeah, right now we can remove it. So all those dependencies are available over there in the package json file, right? Other than that, how does dependency work in these case? In which case, can you explain more? I can help you. And yes. Okay. I'm answering to this first question, ng serve. So ng serve is basically when you are using node, right? There is one command called npm. Npm is a node like the package manager which we installed previously. So what we did is, so I want to run a start command, right? So if I want to run this command, so what we did over here is we asked them that change the start command to ng serve. So whenever I'll write ng serve, it will run my this command npm start run start. So it will run my application. So basically it is running my application using ng serve. So if I want to build, then build. Yeah, I already like told you that. Other than that, what's this? This okay. So what I'll do is, let's say I want to install, as I wrote, okay, XYZ package. Package can be anything which is available, right? Available on Node Package Manager. So this is Node Package Manager, right? So inside that there are lot of packages. There are lot of packages. It is a library where we have lot of books. So it is a package manager. It has lot of packages over there, which we can use in our. Let's say I want to do even odd. So there is a package where we can do even odd, or I have addition. So there are packages which said addition. So what I'll do is, let's say I'm installing for addition right now. So I'll just copy this. I'll have to write npm I addition. npm I means npm install addition. So if I'll write npm install, then it will work also. So if, let's say, I'll go over here in command prompt and I'll remove this. I just pasted this over here, npm I addition, right? So it will add this package over here in my package JSON. So over here you can see this addition package is added, right? This 7 second ago. So this is how it adds. So right now what we can do is, we can go over here in the this, and they will tell us how we can use it. We can use it anytime. This must be something someone trying to push over there in their library, but there are a lot of things, right? So we can add it from here. You just have to write npm I or addition. Now what I'll do is, I want to remove it, npm uninstall. So what it will do is, it will remove that particular package from my package, my JSON, right? Okay, what does, how does that work? I think, is that clear what you did ask question, or is there is anything I missed related to npm install? I guess I guess you understand. If there's anything else, let me know. Okay, other question is, my Node version is not supported. How do I install? What you can do is, if the easier thing is, you can install this version. Like if you are using Windows, then you can go and install that version, Node version, and then download it again, and then install it. So it will be updated one. The easier way of this is, otherwise there's few other ways, but for now I would suggest that you can just go to that node website and install that thing. It will update your version. Okay, then there is one file you can see, which is package JSON file. Can you, if, okay, then is there any error you are getting, like what issue you are getting over there? Not supported by Angular. Okay. if you can post snapshots somewhere, if that can be done, is it possible to post a snapshot over here? Okay. Maybe if you want to share your screen, you can do it. I can help you. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. Okay. So here this. Okay. So right now actually you are inside your system folder. You will have to go to the folder where the current version of Node. Why? Why it is like that? So mine is 16. Yours is unsupported. Maybe I guess you have downloaded the newer version. It should be supported. I'm not sure why it is not supporting that. Because it is LTS, right? It should be supported. Mm, Uh, let's go to that particular folder and open the CMD over there. Go to some folder. Um,
কি
আমার ফোন কেমনে ওপেন করে কিন্তু স্যার
জানি না আমি ওপেন করে
uh, like somewhere maybe on desktop you can create one folder.
আবার
Okay. And and do that CMD, right? CMD over there. Okay. Use that NG
কি
NG version. Is it giving same error? I think it is unsupported. Uh-huh. Can you create one like let's create one application ng new and then the application name. Let's see if it is not creating that. Anything. So yes, say yes. Why? Select anything. Oh yeah, it is supported for some reason. It is not given, I guess. But yeah, it has created the application and installing the package, so we don't have to worry much about it. There must be something internal. So let's go into the folder over there. Yeah, open the folder, app. Inside that, yeah, it will install it. So I don't think we have to worry about it much. That's fine. There must be something we might have installed which is like previous of something. I'm not really sure, but it is working for right now, so don't worry, right? Okay, so okay, no problem. Okay, let me resume. So here's my screen. Okay, so what I was saying is this package JSON, right? So package JSON is there, and package JSON have some all the dependencies we can install from npm. And this package JSON log, what happened when we are working with a team, right? There are some versions, updated version or something. So what happened are this log file is when we install anything, it gives us, okay, I have installed it from this plate, this is the signature which I downloaded it from, and everything, so that every person in my team will have the exact same version which I was looking, which I have installed, so that won't be a lot of conflict over there, right? So that's what they this package log file is. We don't have to worry about it. Angular, when we do npm install, it will create and update it accordingly by itself, so we don't have to think about that part. Okay, so now there is one file you can see, Angular JSON. I think if you have created application in yours also, there will be one file, Angular JSON, and it is really important. What is this? So there is configuration related to our Angular application. What it is saying is there will be some schema which will have this. So this is the version of my application right now. My version is 1. I can change it anytime. I want to make it to 1. This, so it will be changed. Something like that I want to change it to. It will be changed, right? So if I want to change the version of my application, I can do it from here. Now, this is the root of my projects. So it is inside the project. Over here, we can see my new app. This is the name of our application, right? Which we created. Over here, we can see that my new app. Inside that, there is app. Now there is everything related to our application. That over here it is saying project type is application. Then the source folder will be src. Over here you can see this is src is available over here. Then there's something called prefix. Prefix we can change if we want to. So what happened over here, there are a lot of component and all those things. So we can create it using when we create it, it give us some particular name, so it give us some particular prefix over there. So we can change prefix. I'll say I'll change it to MMU right now. Okay, and I'll save it. You will see over here, let's say I'll show you over whenever I will create it. Okay, there's a lot of other configuration. Let's say there is one style css over here, right? So it is written that whatever style I want to add, I will have to add it over here if I want to use it. Then if any sort of JavaScript library I want to use, I'll have to add it over here, that file. And then only my application will know that that thing is available. Then there is some configuration related to production. Let's say there is bundling. I think there's not much sense to letting you know these things. But yeah, there is a lot of things, a configuration related to production, there is file replacement, there is development time, what should be the things, what we should on, what should we should off. So those things you will understand while you will start working on Angular. But for now they have said, give you a set of like provided configuration, and for now it is good enough to know that if we want to change any sort of things in our Angular application, we can go here and update it, and then yeah, we are done. Our application will be updated and it will give us those things. So one more thing, there is one file called karma, right? This karma config. So basically, you might have heard about unit testing. Unit testing is what, let's say I have created one particular dashboard. What I want is, sometimes what happened, there is some sort of data and our application failed. There is sometimes it doesn't load our grid, sometimes some sort of things happen. So to check each and everything, we create a unit test at that time. Okay, so those unit tests are in Angular, we running using karma. In this session we won't talk about karma much, but these are the configuration which is written over here. So sometime if you want to update anything in your test, like let's say port you want to change, let's say you want to change the browser, like which it will open, then you can change it from here only. Okay, okay. Other than that, there is this polyfill. Polyfill helps us to fulfill the gaps between versions which browser supported and version which our application has. So polyfills helps us to cover those particular gap, right? So it is there. So don't worry about what it is doing right now. Just try to, like, because in small or these application we don't understand much. It we usually understand those things when we have a huge application and some sort of things are failing. So we will understand, okay, the zone.js is polyfills js is helping us in that. Okay, so okay, when we create any kind of website, you might have heard that it starts with a index html page, right? There is our index page. Okay, over here, right, this is my page. Over here on the top you can say my new app. What I'll do is I'll change it to MMU. I want to change it to GDSC and I'll save it. If it will refresh, I'll refresh it, and now it is changed. You can see the change, right? So I changed the title. Over here you can see there's nothing those things, but still we can see these sort of HTML, these sort of stuff on our index page, but it is not there in our index page. From where it is coming? So it is coming from this body. Body have this tag app root. So what happen when we create an application, Angular application? Angular application is a bundle of Angular components. Okay. So component is what? Component is this. Angular has this component, this thing, this thing is known as decorator. Okay. Whenever if you want to check na definition what is this, if you go and hover this na, it will show you the definition what those things are actually. So it will help you to understand. In order to get that, if you might have to install some extension for Angular. So maybe if you'll go over here in VS Code, if you have installed it first time, you can go and say over here Angular essential, this one. If you'll install this, it is updated one already, right? So you can install this one, and all the snippets which we might require it, all the extension which we might require while developing, it will give us all those. So just install it while working on Angular application. It will help you a lot. And in future also, if you are using any other sort of framework or any language, if you are doing over here, then you can use those things, those extension. It will help you in increasing your speed to like code. So it is really helpful. Okay, so over here there is app root. I'll go to app component. Inside app component, there is one thing, @component, it is written. What happened when I want to create a component in any Angular application, right? So this is something I guess if you have learned any mm, language like C or C++, you might have heard about classes. So this is a class. Class has its name, and then it has some property named title, and it is assigned with some particular name. I guess it is okay. Okay. Bundle of Angular component. Bundle of Angular component. Yeah, I bundle means there is, let's say there right now on a screen you can see only one component. Component means a part or maybe pieces, right? And what it will do is Angular will have a lot of components over there. What we will do here is, this is on the top right, this is our dashboard, like this is our nav bar, right? So what they will do is they will create a component for nav bar. Now this is my body, so I'll create a component for my body. Now I want to go for some other page, let's say a user page. So it will go to user page, user component, it won't render it, right? I'll show you how it is working. What like bundle of component is, uh there is a lot of component. It is a basic component is basic building block of Angular application. So there are a lot of components around, and then when the application is created, they merge it, and then we run on our things. Okay. And then what question? Any other extension that I would recommend? Uh, right now, I think it is good. I guess this essential Angular essential already have those packages inside. It has 9 packages. So I guess right now it will be like enough for you. But eventually going forward, you will understand which thing you require, so you can install it right away. But Angular essential thing, this package is more than enough for now. Okay. Okay, so this, yeah, I was telling you the component. So there is one component. So there is one class. This I told you. This is the class. You might have seen this in your C thing, right? C or C++ programming. You might have seen something like that, and it has some classes, or right. So now what we are doing is in Angular, it is on the top of it. If we write Angular @component, this, if we will write anything @component on the top of any class, it would become a component. This class will become a component. If we will remove it, it is a normal class. A normal class as we have in any programming language. But if we'll have a component or anything on the top of it, it will become that thing. So it has Angular have a lot of things, but don't confuse right now. It is right now a component, and component have some metadata inside it, and this metadata is used. So right now what I want to do, I have this HTML pages, this HTML page which is attached with my component. So over here it is written everything we were seeing over there on the page now. It is written over here, those icon and those these all things is written over here in this HTML page. And now you must be wondering how we were seeing it on index page, because we aren't on app component. How we were seeing? So there is one selector, this selector, right? This selector is app root, and app root will be over here. This. If we will remove this for now and save it and refresh, all it is removed, right? We are not able to see anything inside the body. But if I'll do undo and save, we can see that. So basically this is a selector which we used to have it over here. So when I said the prefix when which I changed to MMU over here, mm, over here I did change. The prefix was app over here. I changed it to MMU. So now when I'll create any new component, it will start with MMU, not app. So this is the prefix I changed. Okay. Now what I want to do, so I guess you understand a component. Over here there is one style URL. So our CSS is file is this. We can write any CSS and this will apply to this particular component only. Okay. Let me know if there is any question related to this particular component, and then we will go forward. If you don't have anything, we will try to create new component and apply that over here. Anyone have any question? Okay. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is, now I want to create a new component. What I'll do? Okay, I am there in CMD. Now, so CLI, Angular CLI is Genie for us. What I'll ask it is ng is Angular. I'm asking my CLI ng create. I'll write C to create ng generate component, and then I'll give the name of my component. So I'll say welcome. Okay. So welcome component. I want the first page that would be the welcome component. So I wrote what? ng, then G for generate. I can write whole thing also. Generate component. Okay. So what it will do is it will create a component named welcome. I'm pressing enter. So my Genie, I haven't created anything. Okay. What I have done is, okay, there is something I messed up in my this file. I will change it to MMU. Now I did some changes. I guess those I missed to like settle it down. I'll run it again. And the best thing is they will give you every error what the error is. So you can read the error properly, you will be able to solve the things. So what it has done is our Angular CLI created 4 files and has done. Let's see. Okay. So it has created these files, है ना? So this folder it has created, and inside that there is one component. So what we are expecting from component is this component. This forget about it for now. No. It is a normal component. So basically this when we write anything on the top of class, then when we write component on the top of any class, it become a component. And then we write the metadata of that particular component. So this is the metadata. What it is saying, that template URL is over here. So template, whatever the HTML I want to write, I can write over here. And whatever the CSS I want to change, I can write over here, right? All those things are connected over here. What I'll do is, right now, inside our component HTML, there are a lot of things. I'll go and remove all things, okay? And there was one more change I missed. They update app module. So what they have updated in app module is there is this module. Before we go to component, there is this thing called ng module. Module is like, again, it is a bundle. When we are letting our application know that this is module, again, if a class, on the top of class, if there is ng module, then that class will be a module. It doesn't depend on name, but it is a sort of a naming convention. Then we use that app module. But if it says app component also, or app abc, and on the top of it, if there is any module, then this class is a module, Angular module. Okay. So inside that there is some sort of metadata related to module. Let's say it is a folder. Inside a folder, we are letting our application know that there is some sort of components available in my folder which you can use. There are some sort of modules, other modules which we can use. These modules are already provided by Angular, but we can create our own modules. That is a different thing when we go forward. So if it is a module, then we have to add it over here inside the imports. If it is a component, then we will add it inside a declaration array, this declaration array. Okay. If it is a provider, then the provider, those services and all those things are different. So for now, just understand, it is a I would again say it is a bundle, and inside a bundle there are the definition. Okay, these are the things which are available over here. You can pick it up, or maybe you can say it is a basket. Basket have these particular things. If you want to use it in your particular app, you can use it. Okay. So this is how it goes. So when we added a welcome component, it added it over here inside a declaration array. Keep it in mind, because we are using CLI, we don't have to use it, but keep it in mind. If we want to, we are creating it by ourselves, sometimes it is missed. So we have to add a component over here in order to let our application know that yes, component is available. Okay, we will create it, it won't be able to use it. If we'll remove it now, it won't, it will say I'm not able to find that particular component. So what I did over here is I removed the HTML code, right? From over here, it was this HTML code. What I'll do is I'll remove it. I'll go and say I want to add over one more thing. In welcome HTML, you when welcome TS, you would be able to see this selector. This selector, as I change the prefix, so now I can see MMU welcome. Right? I'll go to my app HTML. I'll write it over here is like this, and now I'll save it. Okay. Now let's go to here. It is saying welcome works. We removed all the code, other code, right? From where it is coming, welcome works is coming from welcome component.html. This. We can change anything here. Hello. Checking code. And save it. It will go back. Those will be, that thing will be reflected over here. Right? So this is how it changes. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly create a I guess we have routing. So what happened now let's say we want to change a page. Now we have to change it to we want to go to profile. So we'll have to create a profile page now. So what it will do on also again before we going through that, let's discuss this. This is really initial and maybe it will help you going forward. So I'll remove it. I have opened this my inspect element, right? Inspect element. I pressed F12 on my Windows system and it opened it. Otherwise, you can go to and do this inspect. It will open. And on network tab, I went to network tab over here. Okay. Now I'll show you when I showed you over there in the presentation that it downloaded all the packages, right? Now what I'll do is I'll hard reload for now. What it does is I reloaded my page. It reloads the all the these. See all the bundles which it has. It downloaded all the bundles over here. All the things these are our code is converted into JS. Our TS code is converted into JS and it is presented over here, right? So whenever now what we will do is we will create a component, new component. Let's say over here we have routing is used to route to another particular page, right? Okay. So what I'll say is if I want to, I'm saying if I want to path is blank, then I'll go to welcome. Okay, what over here in the routing, okay, I'll quickly explain it. We don't have much time, but I'll try to explain it much. That routing is we will have to give a path that if my this doesn't have then it will go. So what I want to do is when I write welcome, I want to do load component. Which component it should load? Welcome component. I'll quickly see the what do you call it? I forgot the format of that. So I'm just quickly checking the format. Load children, load. Angular route. I'll go over here. This thing happens with us. Many times we forgot a lot of things because we usually don't every time do it, right? So yeah. So yeah, this is was the thing I was looking for. What it will do is it should when I say path is blank, then it should go with welcome component. So over here in my this, I'll remove this. I'll say router outlet. Router outlet is anything which we want to show on route change. It will show it. Now if I'll save it and we'll go to this page, it will show me this, right? Now what I'll do is quickly I'll go and quickly create one more component. Let's say profile component and the generate component and then the name of the component. It has created this component for me. What I'll do over here, I'll copy this. I'll say if I will write profile, then open profile and open profile component. Okay, so when the path is over here, if you can see, the route is what I'm saying. If the path is blank, then open welcome component. If path has profile with it, then open profile component. I'll go over here because it doesn't have anything. It is opening welcome component. And I'll cross it. I'll write profile and enter. Now you can see profile component, right? So this is the way routing, Angular routing works. Right now in our app, we'll quickly go here into HTML. What I'll do is don't save. Okay, I'll create a anchor tag over here. So in add, I'll do anchor tag and tag this dashboard and the other tag will be okay, that would be profile. Right over here, I'll say router link to blank because the first one is blank, right? And second one, when we have to use router over here, we have to write it like that. Router link to where we want to move it to. We want to move it to profile. So we'll write it like this. Let's see if it works. I'm not really sure. So we'll go to this page. Okay, where I wrote it. Create a div. Inside a div, if I'll do it, there's no space. Let's see. Okay, so I have this dashboard link and I have a profile link. If I'll click on profile, it will move to profile. If I'll click on dashboard, I move to dashboard. Let's over here you can see I haven't wrote this particular code in every page. I have this on app component only, and it is over here only. And now I'll show you the thing, the single page application, how it helps us. Okay, I'll clear the cache. Okay, so right now we have these bundles downloaded, right? I'm removing those bundles. So right now removing, like clearing the screen right now. So those bundles are saved in my browser right now. If I'll click on profile page, it won't download anything. It will just show me the data. If there is any call to the backend, then it will download. If we'll see the same thing on any app, right? Let's say uh, which app? I don't remember. Uh, any website, let's say this website, right? And I'll go to network tab, and if I'll clear it, it will download a lot of things over here, right? Now I'm removing the it from screen. Now I'll click on view source. Like it is the same thing on this same website. If I'll do it, it will download those things again and again, right? It has downloaded all the PNGs or PNGs, yeah, obviously those are required, but it will download a lot of things which are it is re-downloading. In our case, if there is anything like it will just download it for the first time. So right now it is for the first time it is downloaded, but again if we'll switch it to any time, 10 times, 30 times, any times, it won't download. So this is the thing that single page application helps a lot, right? I think this is the something which is really important, and there are a lot of things in Angular which are left right now. So we discussed about Angular modules, Angular components. There is something called services. Maybe you guys can go through it by yourself, because we don't have much time, and I do have a really nice quiz with me, so I want to cover that quiz quickly, right? So let me do it. So we have talked about all those things, right? There is ng module, there is component at the rate. If you want to create a service is created. If you want to do any sort of backend call, any API call, if you want to do, we usually use services. So what you can do is you can go and explore why we use services to do backend call and why it is required. You can go and search, and if you feel like if you are confused in that anytime, you can come and ask me. I'm available on LinkedIn or any social platform anytime. I would love to respond on that. There is production build. So if we what we want to do is, if we want to build our application, over here is our application. I want to build, let's say I'll do ng build. Ng build, I'll do what it will do is, over here you can see right now it will create one folder over here. It is right now doing build. So for the I'll show you the bundle. So if you want to create it for production, we will have to use this production flag, this prod. So we call it production flag. If we use this flag, it will make our bundles more secure and non-readable, so user can't read it. Right now if I'll go and check my bundles, I might be able to put debuggers over here. Means any developer can use your code anytime. So I'll go somewhere, I'll put debugger, I'll say I want to go to welcome component and I can see the welcome component, something like that I can do. But if I'm using my production build, then I won't be able to use that. So that's why it is required. Over here, we can see this dest folder. Inside dest, there is this bundle. This bundle are right now not production ready. We can use it on local, but if we'll do it with prod flag, then you won't be able to read it. Uh, build. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this error. Maybe you can try it at your end. I might have missing something. So if you build it with the prod flag, it will have those bundles for the production ready, and you can run this application uh, like on the server, and that will work perfectly. Okay, so this is the thing. Let me see if I'm missing something else. This is my username. You can find me anywhere with this username. So let me know anytime if you have any confusion related to Angular, related to any career advice, related to anything I can help you with. Please feel free to ask me. I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm available on Twitter, Instagram, and anywhere if you want any help. Just feel free to ping me and I'm right away. Okay. Uh, After that, I guess I had one. Okay, let me open my. It has. Okay. I'm starting on game. I guess you might have used Kahoot previously. If not, so what you have to do is there will be few questions on screen. You have to log in on your phone. So what you have to do, it will be there. So you have to on your phone. You'll on browser you can go this. Sorry. You can go and write www.kahoot.it and then you'll get this. Let me show you. You'll get this sort of box, so you have to write that pin over there and write your name over there. Then do it quickly. I'll be back in a few. Hey, I'm back. We already have 12 people joined. Should we wait for more people? It might take 10-15 more minutes to do the quiz. Let's join quickly. We have 25, right? I guess we are good to go. If someone is joining, please ping over here if they are facing any issue. Otherwise, we'll start in next 1 minute. So on 25 at my end, we'll start. I'm starting. Okay, I'm starting now. Okay, let's go. So there will be few questions. On the question and answer, you will be able to see on your Google screen, like the screen I'm sharing, and the symbol will be there on your mobile phone. You have to take on the correct answer. What is the correct answer? Which is not the part of front end. Okay, I guess it was a good session. We get a really high score right now. Nice. We'll have this board also, scoreboard also, going up and down throughout. We can create SPA using Angular. SPA is single page application. Yes, correct. So we have created the SPA right now, and I showed you. So cool, nice, good going. True or false? TypeScript is subset of JavaScript. Is it subset? Is it subset? I'm not sure. No. So it is a super. Uh, I guess this answer is correct. So basically, it is a superset of JavaScript, right? So there's some issue with the question. Let's skip this one. Okay, which is not a HTTP request. You might have heard it is not something which we talked in a talk, but if you know, so there in HTTP there are four type of these type of requests we can get. Put means update and delete. We can do those things. Read is not a HTTP request. So yeah, we can think okay, this is also okay because we haven't read it over here in this session. So that's fine. Oh, okay. Which statement is false for TypeScript? Transpile to JavaScript. False. We are talking about false. Static typing, open source, and none of these. Which statement is false for TypeScript? Okay, let's see. Nice. What is Ajax stand for? You might have heard. If not, that's fine. Asynchronous JavaScript, XML, XTML, XTML, all in one JavaScript. What? Yeah, correct. So it is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Cool. Our scoreboard is shuffling. Which one is wrong about Angular? It extends HTML with new attributes. It develops a model view controller. It supports two-way binding and none of this. There is few things which we haven't read, so this is fine. There is something called two-way binding. There is something called a lot of things. Services we skipped as of now. Okay, so there is those all those things we learned about HTML. It can we use a selector to make it convert to attributes, and we use it like that as an attribute, right? We use that app root and MMU welcome, and those we used it like that, right? So that is that. But yeah, let's go forward. Next. Unlike JavaScript expression, Angular expression can be written inside HTML. Angular can be written inside HTML. Yes, that can be done. So basically, there are a lot of things for two-way bindings. We can do it using that interpolation and all, which we haven't read. At the rate component decorator is used to defining what? This shouldn't be wrong. I focused it in all it a lot. Okay, yeah. So correct answer is component. So if there is written at the rate component, then we are talking about we have created that class as a component. So 14 people, thank you for listening. Those who missed, we can connect again for new session. Which decorator used to define module in Angular? We talked about it. True. Okay, so yes, at the rate ng module, we used to create the Angular module. We did it on the application. Scoreboard is shuffling. Okay, I guess we haven't read it, but this thing is called interpolation. I'm telling you right now because we haven't read it over there in our session. So this thing is called interpolation, and how we write it. Yes. Okay. So how we write it, we can write it over here. Like let's say I have some variable and I'll say title, and title variable will be written over here. So I would be able to now my RAM is gone. Okay, so this. So when I wrote this, my name app is over here previously. So this thing is called interpolation. I can write the variable's name. There is one variable inside my app component, this variable title, and if I change it to anything and save it, it will update it over here and I'll see the updated one, right? So I can use any variable directly over here in the HTML. This thing is called interpolation. Okay, this is really important thing, like, because it is easy and in a lot of interview they ask. Ng if is known as, we can skip because we haven't did it. I think we can skip it for now. It is not required. NGF is used, how to create service in Angular. Service, we discussed it it is used, it is like we use create it using injectable. We talked about it but not much, so yeah, I'm good with one was listening. Okay, is it true or false? Angular JSON contains npm package related information. Is it true? Is it? It is false because Angular JSON contains information related to Angular project. Package.json contains information related to package or npm related packages. We talked about it. So yeah, cool. A prod flag is used for what? Used for production settings, removing production setting. Cool. Yeah, it is like it is hyphen minus, but minus doesn't implies removing it. It means we are adding a flag. Cool. Angular have dependency injection feature. We haven't read it, but yes, Angular has that. So whenever you will learn about Angular services, right, you will got to know about dependency injection. So try to learn, read that, and if you feel like if you have any question, let me know. Is it true or false? And there we can skip it if you want. Ng on init lifecycle hook is before constructor. Yes or no? No, so it is not before constructor. So there are a lot of life cycle hook, means when our component is started and component ends, there are a lot of methods which we can create and use, so that if we want to update it anytime on maybe some change, if we want to do, if one deleted, we want to run some sort of function or some sort of code, we can do it. So there are life cycle hook. We haven't read it in the session. But yeah, ng on init runs after constructor loaded. So constructor runs, then ng on init. IV is what? I'm sorry, these questions we have wasn't able to cover in the session. But yeah, let's see. IV is a renderer. So the new renderer which came up few, I guess 2-3 years back, and which makes Angular a bit faster. So yeah, it is a renderer and it is known as IV. Next question, be ready. I guess this one is last. I'm not sure. Nay, it one we have one more. Angular material is used for what? Material is used for what? Angular material. You might have heard about Google material, material design in Android. Yeah. So it is used for UI designing. Basically, it is inspired by Google's material design. So it is now available for Angular also. Okay, now get ready for next question. Last one. We love Angular. It has answers. Don't say no. Cool, cool, cool. So everyone loves Angular. Now, yeah, the mission successful. So now let's go to our scoreboard. You guys can have snapshot if you want to. I'll see if I can share. Yeah, I can share. Yeah, I can share it. Yeah, I just sent it over there. So if you want to use it sometime, you can use it. So yeah, that's all from my end. I know we haven't covered much, lot of things, but if there is anything you want to ask, feel free to ask me after. Like you can ping me anytime. I'll reply whenever I'm available. Whenever I get chance, I'll try to connect and like help you out with that. This is my handle. If you want to connect with me on any platform, just ping me. That's all. Thank you so much.